Hi, my name is Kees and I help people from doing to being. And today I'm here with a video about the different types of shadow work. 2 types of shadow work you could do for yourself and which have a very different impact on your life. And before I tell you a little bit more, I wanted to do a disclaimer and say that with shadow work or with energy work, you could definitely overwork yourself pretty easily. So how this works, it's kind of like if you change one thing about yourself or in your energy, the whole thing needs to sort of find a new place or defragment themselves. Like the old computer, you would defragment the C disk or something like that, and you would see all these pieces moving because it needed to find or reorganize itself. So there's an integration process always after you've realigned something, or you've done some shadow work or some inner work or some energy work, or however whichever term you want to use for that. So in general, there is only the importance of doing the shadow work or the inner work or letting go of the beliefs that are necessary for you to, let's say, live a carefree, loving life. So, without further ado, I'll go into the 2 ways in which you could do shadow work. And the first way is on your path to enlightenment, you could say, or on your path to being, full being. And what that means is letting go of control, being as life. Enlightenment is the wave, not only realizing it's the ocean, but acting as the ocean, being the ocean, letting go of its sense of center, letting go of its sense of doing. And in that process, once you, for example, realize that you're the wave, right? And that you're also the ocean. So when you realize you're the ocean and not the wave, that's a great realization to have. But obviously all these fears or ideas might pop up. What about my mortgage? What about my marriage? What about my outcomes that I want in life? What about my self-image? What about, all these different types of things. And when these things come up, this is the time for you to investigate them and let go of them. You could see them kind of like a limiting belief. They're part of your identity. They're a sort of structure. You could say that it's your ego. It's something that is holding you in your sense of separation. And that sense of separation is a sort of energy or something that is arising, that is holding you there, which you could do inner work on. So this is one purpose of doing shadow work. It's the purpose I like the most because I'm a big advocate of helping people from doing to being. And when they want to go to being, or when I tell them basically you can let go or relax, what happens is they're afraid. They're afraid to let go. They find it very scary, very hard, or they really have to get used to the idea that you don't have to control life, right? And it's actually not hard, because life will take care of you. Life will take care of it because you are life, right? It will fulfill its purpose. It has a sort of purpose for it being there. So when you let go, that purpose can come out, and all that programming or conditioning or identity can slowly let go of itself. And through watching that, you can see that this work, or this shadow work you could say, is actually the letting go, right? The paying attention and the letting go of the thing that is hindering you to just be, to just relax, to just let go. Okay. The other purpose of shadow work, which you could do, is to improve the person, right? So not from this idea of enlightenment or non-duality or beingness, but from this idea of I want to do more, I want to be more, I want to sort of improve my productivity, I want to improve my life, I want to have happier feelings and things like that, which is very valid, of course, which is why most people do shadow work or do inner work or go on in a spiritual quest at all. And in the end, they'll be satisfied usually, or a little bit satisfied, or a little bit frustrated and a little bit satisfied, because what tends to happen is that people first just improve the person because they have an idea of what spirituality is, right? So instead of what I'm saying basically is that deep spirituality or from the spirit or enlightenment is about, you know, being nothing, right? Just being, not having any layers of knowledge or operating systems or identities or values or this is bad, that is good on top of that. No, it's enlightenment or being is about removing all of that, right? But you can easily, from your conditioning, from your identity, project, I want to do this and it's just not working, so I need to do some sort of shadow work here. And sometimes that is effective because sometimes definitely something is in the way. And sometimes you are meant, and you feel it, you are meant to do something, right? Like me with these videos. For a long time I felt blocked. So if you feel blocked like that, what you can do is you could do shadow work. Because if I, as a person, wanted to control that I did videos, I could go into that and in this way do energy work or inner work or shadow work, right? It might be less effective because sometimes it's just meant for me to not do something, right? So if I had the idea, I just want to be a tech CEO, which I wanted to be a little bit earlier in life, and this is hindering me, all the spiritual stuff, then I would not be able to shadow work my way out of it because it was totally meant for me, right? But there are other things like my need for validation, which I had for a long time. And that need for validation was definitely, you could say, a problem where my personal interests and my spiritual interests or life's interests or my enlightenment interests would be matching. So sometimes shadow work does work, right? Or inner work does work when you do it on something which is actually meant to be and also is aligned with the person, right? So these different purposes, these two purposes, when you want to do something from your personal perspective, that is usually possible with shadow work because it doesn't feel good and your emotional guidance system is telling you something doesn't feel good because it's not meant to be there, right? Because there's something limiting it. And there's a sort of limited perspective or something like that. And you can do shadow work to find that and to heal that. But the best healing happens with the purpose of just wanting to be because then we're like the creator, and the creator, or the creator that we all are, that's what I mean when I say the creator, created this, right? This limiting belief, and usually it has a function, and it's usually there to point you towards some sort of limiting belief or separation, right? So sometimes the only shadow to look at, when you look at it from a personal perspective, the only shadow to look at is the fact that you want it so bad, right? That's not what, from a personal interest, you would like to see. I often saw it that way. When I wanted to do shadow work, I found out the only thing which is giving me a bad feeling here is because I want to force something. I want to force something into existence. I want it to be a certain way, and that is the limitation. Okay, then we can look at that, and we can take a more enlightened perspective, you could say. But if we just look at things from the personal purpose, a lot of improvement is possible if it's aligned with the divine perspective, you could say. But if that's not the case, then sometimes the only thing that is actually the shadow is your personal insistence on that it needs to be a certain way, or that it needs to be in this way. You know? Okay, but these are the two different purposes. I hope that clarifies things for you as somebody that does inner work or shadow work, or is interested in all these matters of spirituality and looking into yourself, or having realizations, doing energy work, things like that. If you're doing all those things, and if you're noticing that you're already doing energy work, you're already doing shadow work, then it's very easy to get ungrounded. Maybe you even had a spiritual awakening or a peak experience, or you had some sort of experience in shadow work, or you've done an ayahuasca trip, or you've worked with other psychedelics. Then grounding for you is extremely important. And just for you, I've created a free grounding meditation, and I'll link it below. You'll also get my regular updates, so just sign up and then you'll get my free meditation instantly in the first email. And I'd love to give you more videos and show you more videos and tell you a little bit more. I have more on my channel. But like this video if you really like the video, if it was helpful. Comment if you have any question to me. I always want to answer all the comments. So let me know. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for more videos, or hit the bell icon if you want to stay updated when I release a video. I'm releasing more videos now, so if you have any suggestions for me, also you could let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your time, and let's evolve together. Right? Thank you. Bye-bye.